Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to walk you through how to use my unit study planner at a glance in Notability. So first, once you open Notability, you're going to select the import button, go to files, and then import the planner from wherever you have it saved. You can import the image version or the PDF, it doesn't matter. And then you can either create a new file, or if you already have a file that you want to add it to, you can add it to that, and it will be added to one of the pages. So now that we're here, we're going to begin by highlighting our first unit. You're going to click on the highlighter, choose whatever color you want it to be for this first unit. I chose colors based off of what the topic was, so I picked green for this first one, and because it has to do with things in the ground, and that just made sense to me. So I just start highlighting the unit. We're going to start our first day of school, hopefully on the 15th of August. And then I'm going to highlight the number of weeks for that unit. This particular unit has 9 weeks. And one thing you'll notice that as you drag your mouse, if you're a little crooked, it's okay, because if you hold it at the end, it will straighten itself out. And then you can also kind of adjust vertically to try to make your line as straight as possible. So you can see I do that as I go along, just to straighten out my lines so they look a little neater. You can also drag forwards and backwards if you want them all lined up. I'm not that particular about it. I want them to kind of be at the same place. And then at the top, what I'll do is those little boxes are for your key. So I put a green dot in my first box, and then I'm going to type in the name of that first unit that we're going to be working on. And so the highlighted lines are for my first grader who just turned 6, and this is what she'll be working on for the school year. So now I'm going in to start my next unit. I picked a different color. This one I picked blue because the unit has to do with water. And then I continue on. When I get to this last Monday, I just do a dot. You could kind of drag it if you want it more, I guess, rectangular, but that's what I did. And then you just repeat this process as you go along the length of the unit. And then the same thing, I'm going to go in and fill in the key and type in the name of the unit. And it's easy here to just drag these so that they're lined up properly, the text boxes. You could also do them all in one big text box. I've done that before. And then just hit enter every time to go to a new line. This time I did a text box for each one. Now what I'm doing next is I also have 4-year-old twins who are doing preschool units, and I want to put them on the same calendar. So I'm using an underline technique. So I'm using like the pen, but I'm doing almost the exact same thing. I'm just underlining the date so I can see my first grader is in what the green unit is, and my 4-year-olds are in what's being underlined. And so I can see when their units line up. So are they going to be starting units at the same time? Are they going to be ending units at the same time? Because their units, this first one lines up, but then after that, the next units don't line up at the same time. So I'll be able to see, okay, I need to be prepared for a new unit on such and such a day for these children, but for this one, it might be a different time. And then the same thing, I just drew a line in the box, and then I'm typing in the unit name here. And if you have any questions about what these curriculums are, please let me know in the comments. This Home CEO Academy is something that my twins are finishing from the previous year. We started at a random time, so they didn't line up, and we needed something to kind of fill in the space. You'll see everything kind of ends at the same time, which is great. So it works out. And then I've just switched colors here. I think this is a dark green that I'm using for their next unit. Yes, because they're learning about the jungle for this unit. So green, again, just made sense. And the same thing here, if your line is wobbly, it'll straighten itself out and then you can drag it upwards and downwards. This would be so much easier if you were doing it with a handheld mouse. I was doing it with a trackpad on my laptop, which is why it looks so wobbly. And then I'm stopping here because we are doing a separate Christmas unit, which you'll see on here. We kind of take a break from school for the month of December and just focus on a Christmas unit and spending time with family and doing holiday type things and just take it easy. So you'll see I don't add in any other breaks in the rest of our year, but we'll take breaks as we need them. We'll do field trips as we need them. We're also only doing 4-day work weeks, which I'm not putting on here just because in my mind the curriculum still covers that whole period, whether we're doing 4 days or 5 days. So I'm highlighting the whole week because that makes sense to me. But you obviously have the ability to customize it as you see fit. Also, you can see our Christmas curriculum is only 12 days long, and then we take that last week and a half off. And I'm just taking some time here to decide where I wanted to put it in this key section so that everything lined up nicely, because that's what works for my brain. Some people might like to put everything in chronological order. I have my first grader on the left, the twins on the right, and then the Christmas at the end, because that's what makes sense to me. So you'll see here, I kind of got tripped up. I miscounted my the units for here, so I can show you what to do when you make a mistake. So I'm going to get the eraser tool and I'm going to go ahead and erase. I added an extra line. There's 13 weeks and I did 14. So it erases everything it touches. I probably could have made it smaller, but I'm just erase the whole thing. I go back in and I highlight those lines and I'm good as new. So now I can switch colors and continue on as I need to. And I'm just recounting here to make sure I didn't mess up again. Okay, so we've come to the end and I've gone through all of my units. Hopefully you've kind of seen how this can work for you. And then of course, if you like stuff digital, you could totally just leave this in here. They have apps, so you can pull it up on your phone, an iPad, whatever kind of tablet, and just look at it from there. Or you can print it out and it prints out in color if you like to do that. I personally like to print it out and I can keep it over my desk, kind of reference it. I'll probably check it off as we go through each week. But what it'll really do is just help me keep in mind like how far we have to go in a unit. If I need to start looking for books or things that pertain to the next unit, I'll be able to do that ahead of time. And then I will show you what this looks like after it prints out. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will get to them. But otherwise, thanks for watching. And you can access this printable in my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description.